Around 60 kilometres east of the city of Lhasa, capital of Tibet, and set amidst the untouched mountain world of the Kyi-Chu Valley, is the town of Dagze that contains one of the country's most famous monasteries. Ganden Gonba was once a prosperous monastery town. However, this historic Tibetan landmark was badly damaged when the Chinese took power and introduced the subsequent Cultural Revolution. But despite the damage caused to its buildings, Ganden Gonba continues to be a holy site and a place of pilgrimage that is visited by many of the faithful. For many centuries, this temple town was the religious center of the Yellow Caps Academy. But the annexation of Tibet by China changed everything. The remote location of Ganden Gonba, within an isolated valley 4,300 meters above sea level, was unable to protect the sanctuary from invasion. Fortunately, matters have improved since then. Recently, a growing number of buildings have been restored and new ones built. Throughout the years, pilgrims came here unhindered by events, as the Ganden Temple was of great significance for Tibetan Buddhism. However, the former religious faculties of Dagze, Shatsi, and also the Tantric Academy have not yet fully begun to operate again. It will take some time until everything in Ganden returns to normal. One of the first buildings beyond the monastery entrance is the monks' large assembly hall, the Lhakhang. Up until 1959, around 3,000 monks inhabited Ganden's monastery complex. At that time, its name was appropriate. It was full of joy. It is believed that the founder of both the monastery as well as the Gilog Academy, Tsong had taught here. In 1409, Tsong selected this location for the new monastery. It was in Ganden that his reforms were realized. So it's not surprising that the former monks' assembly hall mainly contains statues of Tsong and his pupils. In addition to numerous sacred treasures, the Lhakhang also houses a chapel of the protective deities that, among others, is also dedicated to Vaishravana, the deity of wealth. Artistic mandalas, circular symbolic images, decorate many of Ganden's temple buildings. Some of the buildings are original, while others have been renovated. Dedicated to the deity of wealth, Vaishravana, this part of the monastery is quite splendid, fine decoration wherever one looks. From the large assembly hall and the chapel of the protective deities, it's only a few steps to the tomb of the monastery's founder, Tsong. This is the most holy place in Ganden Gonba. A visit to the final resting place of this important spiritual teacher is the main aim of the pilgrims that have come to Ganden from near and far. Khapa's tomb, the monastery's sanctum, has a unique atmosphere. It's full of mystique. The room contains a number of the personal belongings of the monastery's founder. A most striking sight is the huge tomb stupa of Tsong. It is made of gold and silver. His embalmed body has lain here for several centuries. During the Cultural Revolution, the shrine was opened up, and it was discovered that the corpse of the great spiritual teacher that was partly intact had been defiled. Only a few sections of the skull could be saved. Beyond Tsongkhapa's stupa is a further sacred treasure. This rock is considered by the people of Tibet to be divine. According to legend, the rock flew in the air from India's Sarasvati, an important center of Buddhism, to Ganden. Following the Cultural Revolution, the temples of the monastery town lay in ruins for many years prior to the gradual restoration of these historic buildings. Not all of Ganden Gonba's buildings have been restored. Nevertheless, its temples and assembly halls attract a great deal of pilgrims from both Tibet and abroad. A visit to Tsongkhapa's sacred throne that is situated between his tomb and former residence is an absolute must. Although the building is new, it has a special atmosphere. Its many wall paintings and images add to the elegance of the throne hall. Traveling through the monastery town of Ganden reveals just how much work has been done to restore the complex. The inhabitants of the village of Dagze have profited from the restoration of the Buddhist sanctuaries and the interest created by them. The destruction of the buildings was unable to deter the faith of the local people. The historiography of this famous monastery in the Kyi-Chu Valley continues, and even the local printing press is operational once more. Surrounded by the unspoiled wilderness of Tibet's high mountain scenery, the monastery district of Ganden Gonba has a bright new future ahead.